Hello everyone, welcome to TOEFL Destination Live. If Germany is on a study abroad list or you are figuring out which destination to choose, you have joined the right session. Through this series, we will take you different destinations. We'll have experts from different universities, different countries, and they will answer the questions which generally students have, like how to choose the correct destination, how to choose correct university, what are the things they need to do to get the offer letter from the university. So we'll be answering such questions through this series. And this time we are opening the session. The first episode of this session is with Germany on like it is like very popular destination as of now. We are seeing a great number of students moving to Germany, and obviously Germany has that capability. Germany is known for globally respected universities. I mean, literally linked with the university industries and everything, and excellent career opportunities which Germany provides after graduation. And to help us answer these questions, we have Dr. Sandeep Patil, Director RWTH Aachen University, one of the leading technical universities of Germany. And he is the perfect guest for tonight, for this show. So, Dr. Sandeep Patil has lived the life of every student. He moved to Germany for masters. He did his PhD from there. Then he joined as a faculty at RWTH Aachen. And now, after spending around 15 years in Germany, he is back in India and leading RWTH Aachen South Asia. Dr. Patil, thank you for joining the session.
Yes, I'm very grateful to be here. I'm excited to talk to everyone, and I'm sure that this session will be helpful to the students who are deciding to go for Germany for their higher educations.
Thank you, Dr. Patil. So now to begin this session, I mean, Germany is continuously attracting thousands of students, and it is seeing great number of students moving from India or South Asia region. What is your perspective? What makes Germany such an attractive destination? What are things as a destination it offers to students, those who are looking forward to moving to Germany for their career and education, higher education?
Yes, it's a perfect question to start with, because if you look at the research and development spending of the Germany, it's almost 3.2% of GDP. Germany is spending on the research and development. And research and development, it's not just for the industry, but it drives through the academia. And this is a perfect integration of academia and industry in Germany. It's working perfect. Therefore, someone is going for a master's, they are doing their master's studies, as well as the topic or the project they have been working on, the topic and projects, they are directly connected to the industry's recent trends. So therefore, industry academia integration is too good. Therefore, the gap between the academic and industry, you won't see that. So those students studying directly integrate with the the industry, and this is how it is very helpful for them to get the job very quickly. And Germany is needing the lot of skilled people. So therefore, this is a perfect destination for everyone.
Great, you mentioned research, sir. I mean, as per my understanding, also Germany is doing great in research, but there is a perception with regards to Germany that it is engineering-focused destination. A lot of students think that if you are from the engineering background, then only Germany makes sense for you. Just wanted to what's your take on that? What do you think about that?
It is true that the engineering is the home for the Germany, and let's say a lot of innovations and the recent advancement happening to the engineering mainly. However, if you think about the other topics or other programs where you will find a lot of now the students getting attracted in Germany are like business analytics, management. The new trend is techno management. So Germany is famous for the engineering and then management. So it's like a perfect blend, techno management. Also, recently what we have seen is public administration is one of the new topic, and also data science, AI, ML, and other topics are also there. But I would highly recommend students to see which university is offering what, and the university ranking, rating, as well as the university's legacy over the time period. These are the things you need to consider while going for these new topics also, as well as hardcore engineering.
So you mentioned, Germany, 100% I agree, it offers a lot of things to the student. But you did mention in your response that ranking also matters. So how important is ranking? I mean, the students, every student is not meant for the high ranking institute, but they aspire to move abroad for the studies. And this is not in respect to Germany only, but from the global standpoint, you have spent a lot of time in the industry, you have spoken to a lot of students. What's your take? Like, where does ranking stand? How important it is when the students are looking for the universities?
Honestly, Germans are not believing in the ranking, because if you look at any ranking, especially QS World ranking, they're always having the ranking or rating based on the how many students. One of the main criteria is the number of students per professor. But if you look at the education system in Germany, there is no associate, assistant, junior professor. There is only one professor, and all are postdoc, PhD, and all the working students. So therefore, Germans are not believing too much into the QS ranking, but still it is good to get the first-hand idea about the university. But second thing is about the legacy, how the student university has been good with the any topic. Okay, how's the employability of the university for this typical topic over the years, and this will gives you clear idea. And another important criteria student needs to consider is how much the third party funding is there for the university. So if you take the RWTH Aachen University 50% budget, so total budget of the university is 1.1 billion euros, and out of that 50% coming from third party funding, which is mainly industry and government agency. So this is what impact a lot, because if you want to go for part-time job, you will find the many live projects which might be they are working with the BMW, Mercedes, Audi, and there are many more industry partners with them they are working. So therefore, all these factors make a lot of contribution to take the final decision.
I mean, 100% agreed, sir. As per my understanding, also because there are a lot of industries which are investing in education system of Germany. That's why you have research quotient very high in Germany, and which is true. It's primarily in engineering segment. But as you mentioned, techno management is something which is coming across very nicely. Now, so as a student, sir, you have lived that life. You have been the master student, and you pursued your PhD from there. How's student life? How's the international student life in Germany? I'm sure you must have moved from India for the first few months. It must be a little bit difficult, but how was it according to your aspect? I mean, perfect.
Yeah, I started my master's in 2008 September, so in Stuttgart. So then I did my PhD from RWTH. So, but initial time period, even though I knew it that this is how things work in Europe, even though right now also, if you see the information transfer is so nice that the you can believe or you can already sense what you are going to face it in Europe, but still once you experience it you'll find that like okay this is what, so it's like the cultural shock is there already, but I think new generation is coping up with very nicely, so I'm really looking forward to this new generation, how they adapt and they adjust themselves very quickly, so this is good. But still there are some things which you need to really take into consideration, like language. So before you move to your master degree program, I would highly recommend to have at least A1, A2 level German. So this is like conversation, basic conversation. So nobody's really how looking forward to have you talking about any advanced topic and very complicated things, but having greetings, normal conversations, and let's say giving the good idea about yourself, introducing yourself. These are the things important. So therefore, I would highly recommend A2 level German. And then once you start your master's degree program, I think your focus, at least for the first semester, is supposed to be on these studies. Because if you look at the overall picture, the system is completely different. So start with the, let's say, exams type. So I remember when I started my first exam, it was open book. Open book is like you can carry everything. Okay. So theoretically, I carried 2 books, lecture notes, and so many things. And when the exam started, I was looking for the same formula which I knew it before in the books and lecture notes. So I wasted almost like 10 minutes and then realized that okay, so it's not the right way, it's not the right approach. So I closed everything. I started the problem, because you should understand now open book is not quite normal for us in India, but it is very common in Germany. And if they want to give you something from the notebook or your book, why they call as an open book? it's not really true, right? So therefore, I think you should experience it and get used to the system. And once you used to the system, then you can explore a lot. And I would highly recommend to the student that to go for a part-time job, which is within the university campus. This is where I think you will do the lot of networking. You will understand the how the people are behaving, especially Germans. They take time, but once you are really good friend with them, then and also it is opportunity for you to practice your German with unknowns, and this is good. You always scared with talking to the known people where you feel like, okay, I'm missing grammar and my sentence formation is not so good. So if you talk to unknown people, it's like fearless. So which is I think good part of the part-time job also.
I mean, 100% agreed, sir. Knowing Germany definitely helps. But there are a lot of students, those who decide at a very later stage that they want to go to Germany, and they might not have an opportunity of getting an A1, A2 level of German language knowledge. What do you suggest for them? I mean, whether they should choose an option. I mean, of course, English language proficiency proving that is 100% required for the application and the offer letter and rest of the things. But what do you suggest if the student moves to Germany and then he realizes that, okay, it is German, a bit of German I need to move things. So how difficult it is with studies and everything. While ELT is obviously very important to get there, but yeah, what's your take on that?
If you ask me about the German language, I'm the bad example because even though staying there for a long time, I'm not really like expert of the language. But still, I can tell you that it's not going to make life too much complicated. But if you want to have like easy life, it is better to have German language. As you said, might be a very late stage they decided to go to Germany, then they can start from that point onwards, like A1 level, at least basic level German they can have it. In the first semester, they can go for A2, second semester, B1, and at least B1. At the time of passed out, like 2 years, we are looking for internship and master thesis. At the time, B2, B1 is already good enough to have the conversation level German abilities. So this is good. However, on the other side, now it's not easy that to decide at last minute and go for Germany because of the complications added recently. And I'm really in the favor of that, like having DMAT exam to get the APS. Will make already the filtration. This is one thing. And the other thing, what you said, last minute decided to go to Germany. No, it's not possible now. So you need to prepare yourself with a DMAT and then go for APS and then go for the university and visa process and everything. So therefore, it is good opportunity for you when you deciding to go for a DMAT. I think you should spend time on the preparation of going to Germany, not really like last minute working and deciding that okay something will amazing happen and then I will get the languages. Language is the thing where it will take time. So therefore, but as I said, I mean, if you don't know the German and it's really like having no knowledge of German, still it's not bad idea to start in the first semester.
Yes. Now, when you mentioned about DMAT and APS, with regards to English language test scores, such as TOEFL, uh, what do you suggest when the student should submit the score, when the student should appear for the test, and how important is it in the offer making process from any university point of view?
Yes, there is no alternative to TOEFL or let's say English language test proficiency. There is no alternative, but I would highly recommend student that the consulate has changed the idea. So it was earlier like 2 years of validity, and this is what the TOEFL is also offering, 2 years of validity. But consulate wants to have the certificate which is not older than 1 year. So I would highly recommend once you are in the application phase, that time you should go for the German language, the English language proficiency test. Like typically October or November to January, December, up to February would be good time to go for the test. And this is where I think if you're targeting next year, then it is exactly in time. So before August, you will get the visa. So that means October to February is a typical time where you should go for the examination, English language proficiency test.
Great. I mean, my understanding is you are moving to Germany. German, obviously, you should know some level of German, but English is your second language, kind of, which is very much important. So that is one thing which you can at least learn from here, prove yourself, move to Germany, or you can start preparing your German also from here. That I'm not saying, but it is quite important to have a good hold on both the languages. And that's why I think universities have made it kind of mandatory that, okay, if German we can compromise, but at least English core we need proper so that at least student can understand what they are being taught in classes. English taught programs, obviously, but at least they can understand that. So preparing for, as Sandeep sir, you mentioned that preparing for it well for both the language and submitting the scores at the correct time to the university, obviously helps in university assessing your application and giving out the offer letter. Now, generally universities ask, I mean, what other things kind of, in case of RWTH Aachen, let's say, sir, if student is applying for the computer science course or something like that, uh, what's your take on that? I mean, it's a very competitive course. That's what my understanding says. You guys must be receiving a lot of applications. How should I stand out in that application if I want to apply? Let's say I have all the requirement in terms of requirement. I have almost everything, but still it's a very competitive space. What do you suggest what students can do to kind of mitigate that thing and stand out of the crowd?
Yes. So coming back to this question, I think I would like to just finish what I said in the last question, because English language proficiency is very important. Because if you look at all the master degree programs right now in Germany, they mostly taught in English. So English is very important when it comes to the, let's say, during the job also, or during the discussions with the international clients. It is a very important language. And as I said, I mean, German is very important for the getting into the cultural things, as well as getting to know a team bond and other things. So therefore, English language proficiency is very important. So one should spend time and think our thing is, let's say our students are very good with that, but having the proper grammatically correct English is really good. Okay, coming back to the question. So it's not just like a US selection process. So US, mainly in US, they look at the GRE score and then they decide. But here in Germany, we do have all the criterias, and this is where we do put the weightage. So let's start with your CGPA, so your grades, as well as grade with university. So it's not grade alone. So let's say XYZ University with 9.0 and IIT Madras with 7.5. So they are like going to be weight like CGPA with university. So it's not just university or just not the CGPA. Okay, then we do consider also the internship where they did it. It is in the relative area, the relevant area, as well as then we look at the work experience. We look at co-curricular activities, extracurricular activities. We also look at into the conference proceeding or publications or patent. These are the all things we consider, and we do put some weightage to it. And then at the end, we put it like academic evaluation of your whole profile. And according to that, we select the students. It's not just the CGPA or GRE, even though GRE is mandatory for all our master's degree program at RWTH Aachen University. But still, GRE score is just like a mandatory requirement. But we do consider all the other factors for the selections.
In one word, you need to work on the profile. It's not only academia which can get you offer letter from the leading universities around the globe. Sandeep, so it was a very insightful session. But what do you think? I mean, we covered university, we covered choosing the destination, we covered how to stand out. What does the English language proficiency score plays in application journey? German language you hold, how much hold do you need? Is there anything which student needs to focus other than these aspects also while they are thinking of moving to Germany for higher education? I mean, is there anything we missed out or?
Right. I would like to mention this. See, I mean, I've been interacting with many students, and what I found it, which is not so, let's say, nice from the student perspective, is I like this. Okay, what do you like it? That I don't know, but I like this. That's why I want to go for this course. Okay, So just to give the example, like ICE engine cars. So this is like two big topics still in India. But in Europe, EV is growing, significantly growing. And like, let's say the percentage wise is significantly growing, that in next 1 or 2 years, you will get rid of the ICE engine cars. But still, people are running behind the ICE engine because I like automotive and blah, blah. So working in the automobile industry and doing the automotive course, these are the two different things they need to understand. Also, another thing is you should understand the trend, what is going on in the market, and how do you see the future prospect for this typical topic of course, and what you like. So if it's exactly matching 100%, that's like a best thing. But if it's not matching, then you need to compromise on something. You need to see the trend also. I mean, if you're coming back to India immediately after doing the automobile course, then it's fine, because still 15, 20 years, India's infrastructure is not that great that EV will come in the picture for everything. Not going to happen. But if you want to stay in Europe and Germany, then you need to consider the topic wisely. So therefore, the interest and trend, you need to match it or try to overlap it. And the another thing is, while selecting the university, I always recommend to have to go for TU9, top technical 9 universities. So do not go for the easy ones where you get the admission. So I would like to share this experience with you, sir, that for the private universities, or let's say tier 3, tier 4 university, if you apply today, you will get admission tomorrow. Nothing happens in a few days in Germany. If something happens in 2 weeks, you should be surprised that, okay, something happened and I got the admission. No, I mean, this is not happening. So I would highly recommend students to go for TU9, top technical 9 universities. You will find the list everywhere. You just go for that universities, and then your career is secured. Employability is really good. Of course, I would be like to have more number of students for RWTH Aachen University, but if not, then go for a TU9. And this is where it is comparable to Ivy Leagues in the USA and 7 old IITs in India. So therefore, I would highly recommend you to target the TU9. Yeah, that's what I can tell you.
I mean, in short, students should be mindful while choosing the destination and universities. I mean, they are looking to build career. They should give it a good research and good opportunities to build that. So, Sandeep sir, it has been a very insightful session, and thank you for imparting all the information. I'm sure the lot of students will get benefit from the session. However, we have been receiving the questions like all along the session, and we have shortlisted few questions from those. It is primarily common question, and I believe you must be facing all these questions and answering those questions for the pretty long time. So, I mean, to start with, what is cost of studying in Germany? And when we say cost of studying in Germany, so I mean, of course, a lot of things depend on your personality and your expenditure, spending nature, and all those things. But what is practically what students should think of in terms of when they think of studying in Germany?
Yes, I think this is where I would like to add one more point, that there are two types of courses. One is with tuition fee and without tuition fee. I think do not mix this tuition fee and without tuition fee with the public and private. So you'll find all the many universities, I don't want to name them, but you'll find it there. Good number of courses are with the tuition fee. So that doesn't mean that the courses are privately done. So they are offered with expenses, with a lot of facilities, lot of, let's say, infra needed for such a courses. That's why they are offered with tuition fee. So therefore, having the tuition fee, it will be generally, typically 24 lakh rupees is the typical cost for the 4-semester course for the masters. So 24 lakh rupees. And as of today, the block account cost is 11,900 euros. So therefore, let's say make it like a 12 lakh rupees for the 1 year, and second year 12 lakh. So roughly 48. So that's, let's say on a safer side, 50 lakh rupees is the total cost with the tuition fee courses for the master degree program. This is like extreme of the extreme. Okay, if the courses are without tuition fee, then it will be might be around 25 lakh rupees. So this is what the rough expenditure. However, in this expenditure, you need to let's say consider the scholarship. If you get scholarship before enrollment, after enrollment, there are many scholarships. So if you look at especially RWTH international academic programs, you will find a lot of scholarship after the enrollment also. And before enrollment, there are 3-4 scholarship. As you get the scholarship, it will be go lower down your total, let's say, expenditure for the masters. And another thing is, while doing your master's degree program, there are great opportunity to work with a professor and get paid. So in first semester, I would highly recommend at least 1 or 2 months. You do not go for a part-time job, but after that you start searching for the jobs, part-time job, which is typically called as student job or research assistant job. So during this job, you will earn almost 500 euro per month, and this is where I think you will save your 70 to 75% of your monthly expenses, and this is really good. So theoretically, students are saving a lot on the working with a part-time job, and this is what I've seen.
I mean, it gives us the broader aspect. Thank you very much, sir, Dr. Sandeep. However, let's say student gets a job also and 500 euros is earning, and from if I do an advocacy of student, let's say assuming, it is not easy for students to get a job under professor, sir. I mean, the kind of students there are, it is also a very competitive space. That's all I want to say. Are there, I mean, what are the options you would like to tell them? I mean, so are there any other options outside university, inside university? Are there internships or the life projects which students can do and earn a bit money from there? Is it?
Yeah, this is where what I said will come in a picture. Like, go to the good university. So I was talking about RWTH coming 50%, let's say, funding from the industry, and industry needs to do to have some projects in the university, and university needs to deliver those projects. So therefore, you'll find a lot of areas where student needs for the having experimental setup, parameter study, routine work, support to the PhD student, postdoctorate while doing some of the tasks. So this is where in good university, you will find a lot of part-time jobs. So, and this is not easy also in last few years, but it is in general, it's quite easy to get into the good universities, this part-time job. Other than that, there will be like a lot of startups in RWTH campus also. You'll find a lot of startup culture, and there are a lot of startups are there. This is where they are paying, and then you will get the experience also. However, I wouldn't recommend for that such a kind of job in the first semester. Of course, second semester onwards, once you get used to the system, you can do it, but not in the first semester. Also, other than the startup and small companies, there are some other side of the jobs like working in a Subway, Burger King, McD. I wouldn't recommend that jobs because it's not about working in such a things, but it is about spending time, your energy, physical, let's say, draining of the things. So I wouldn't recommend because it's a lot of time. It's time demanding things, and you are not there to work. So you're there to study and get the degree in time and go for the jobs. So you look at the bigger picture. After 4 semester, you will get the job which is paying more than 55,000 euro minimum package. So which is like almost 3 lakh in hand. So you're looking for, you should look for that things, not for the like a part-time job and let's say surviving in the initial stages. So which is not so good. I will always look at the big picture.
No, sir. I mean, for the first year, you were there to study, so one should focus on that, and then if things can be managed without spending additional time on other things, that's a better way to go. However, sir, you have mentioned U9, and kind of you have said that the students should opt for the good universities. So let's say, what kind of profile does TU9 accept? Broadly, I'm not saying that you tell me the exact eligibility criteria, but what is the broader profile? Let's say those who are listening to us, and of course, in their head, they must be evaluating their profile for RWTH Aachen. But you did mention TU9 universities. So what kind of universities you guys look for from the academic standpoint also, sir? I mean, how many CGPA they need and all that. But what's the broader picture?
Yes, we look at the NIRF ranking in order to see the university status. But at least for me now, knowing all the universities, I can tell you that the student who are listening right now, they cannot change the university. So therefore, try to improve your CGPA as much as you could. try to work with a professor on a different project so that you can get article. I would highly recommend to go for article, not for the conference proceeding. If you get opportunity to then work with the different clubs like a Robocon, Supra, Baha, and this will be always the opportunity for you to get the hands-on, and this will be count also while selection. And then try to do the internship. This is in the area where you are interested in and you're planning for the master degree program. So relevant area. So this is what I would highly recommend to follow these things so that to get into the good universities.
And also, there is a preparatory year concept, sir. There is a question also with regards to that. There's a preparatory year which is it mandatory for Indian students, those who want to pursue bachelor's in Germany?
So theoretically, sir, I'll just give the background of it. So like 160 is the typical credits in Indian education system for the undergraduate studies. However, if you look at the German education system, where we do have the 180 credits for the undergraduate studies, that means there is already gap is there. Also, there are so many concepts we never studied. So I can tell you my experience when I started in Stuttgart. I had to use Wikipedia and IIT professors' lecture in order to understand many concepts. So this concept, you can, let's say, being in India, you can study those concepts using some of the preparatory course. We do call as RWTH GEC program, German Engineering College program, which is called as a master's qualification or bridging course. This is where you can study the remaining concept and you can fix your admission. So no need to do the GRE. Then their admission is confirmed, and then definitely they have good opportunity to go for the scholarships also. So this preparatory course is available at India office, so you can get in touch with us so that we can talk more about the course and the benefits one-to-one.
Yeah. So because of kind of lack of credits while student pursuing the Indian education system, we need to do kind of bridging course to get qualified for the bachelor's in Germany. Correct? I mean,
yeah, master's in.
Okay, master's in. So now, sir, I mean, we spoke at length about universities and a lot of things. Now, a student has done the master's and they have their degree in hand. What is the job aspect and PR? I mean, of course, PR is something which is not exactly under the university's purview. But because you are one of the expert of Germany, I would like to put this question across. And students are also asking about it. What is the PR outcome? I mean, do you have any great stories for the students to tell and all that?
Yeah. So if you look at the employability, that was your first question. So if I'm talking about RWTH Aachen University, so RWTH Aachen University is having the almost especially international master's degree program, which is offered from RWTH International Academy. 21% students get the job even before they submit their master thesis. So 1 out of 5 are getting placed even before they submit their master thesis, and 90% students get the job within the first 6 months once they passed out. So this kind of employability is there. However, this is like over the time period. So if you see from recent years, like the last a couple of years, there's a slowdown in manufacturing sector. But this will become in a normal situation. I do believe in a year or 2 years in the coming time. So this is what the typical statistic for the employability from RWTH Aachen University. And as I said, I mean, if you go for good university, this statistic is in a similar range. That's what I believe. So this is one thing. And the second thing, you ask about the let's say residence permit and all. So typically once you get the job, then you will get the blue card. And this is typically for 2 to 3 years. Once you complete the 3 years time period with the paying taxes and everything, blue card is nothing but your industry job, let's say. And then once you are done with the 3 years, then you will get the PR, so permanent residence. And this will be 10 years or up to your passport get expired. And then eventually after staying there for 10 years or more, then you can apply for a passport. This is what the rules and regulation for the residence permit says.
Thank you very much, sir. I mean, blue card concept I was also a little bit less aware about. But I'm sure this will help students in assessing the country and the university. Now, so I mean, I am able to talk to you, and you can could tell me a lot of things. The students, those who are watching the session, they will get a lot of knowledge. But what is the correct way of figuring out a university or doing applications in German universities? How students should approach? I mean, research and doing Google is fine, but are there any platforms which you would like to tell to the students where they can find genuine information? How they should apply to the universities, and do you have any thoughts on that?
Yes, there are a lot of consultants are there around. So I wouldn't recommend to go to the consultant, and also I also don't believe 100% on the Google. So therefore, I would highly recommend to get in touch with the university representative. So for example, if you want to have information about TOEFL and GRE, they should contact ETS India, not to the consultant to ask, okay, how's the GRE should prepare. So I think you're providing a lot of mock exams, right? And so many literature about the same. So therefore, similarly, if you want to go to XYZ University, let's say you're planning for international master's degree program English taught, then you should come to us. Like that, if you are targeting another university, this is where you find it like office. If there's no office, directly get in touch with study coordinator, course coordinator, and ask questions. I'm sure they won't get back to you very quickly as you expected, like 2 days, and still I'm not received any answer. Might be 1 week, but they will get back to you. So therefore, get the information from authentic sources. See, a lot of students, I do have a problem with the consultant that they're misleading. So money is the secondary thing, but at first place, they're misleading the student to particular master degree program or particular university because they are getting something out of it. So which is not so good. It's like a student's career is on the stake, and if they get misguided at first place, then it's very difficult for them to cope up with that the rest of the masters and then afterwards. So therefore, I would highly recommend first place you do your research. There is a DAD center everywhere in Delhi, Mumbai, Pune. Go there, take the information, as well as go to the authentic, let's say, sources where you will find the right information, not to the non-authentic and non-representative people.
So in short, the students should check with the university directly rather than. I mean, it might take time, but at least they will get the authentic information.
Exactly.
And counseling is a very responsible job. So yeah. I mean, thank you very much, sir. I mean, I think we have covered everything from the questions aspect, the questions which students dropped were around this particular topics. So yeah. I mean, do you have anything which you want to add before we close the session, sir?
Yeah, I would like to say to the student that build your academic profile nicely, and this will be like best thing you could do it right now, because choosing the university and other things are out of hand already. So, but what you can do, build your academic profile with, as I said, experience, then articles and other things. Also, while taking the decision, please talk to the representative so that you will get authentic information, as well as you will get to know the extremities also. If someone is saying after going ahead with a lot of things, then say that, okay, by mistake, I did this. And you have to choose now this one. This is not so good. And do not plan the things in very short time period. Then it's not so good. Then you won't get the breathing time. You won't get that time for thinking about whether you are taking the right decision. So take your time. Even though you are 1 year late, it's not going to change anything. It is just a time you require to spend on yourself in order to take the right decision. After taking the decision, it's not so good to think about it. So therefore, take a time, but take the right decision. That's what I can say.
Dr. Sandeep, I mean, I think I have received a lot of knowledge after talking to you in the last half an hour, 45 minutes. And I'm sure I'll be sharing this same knowledge with the students I meet on my job. But thank you for joining us. Thank you for taking out the time. And thank you for imparting the knowledge.
Yes, thank you for inviting me for this session. And I'm very much thankful to the ATS India, especially TOEFL, for this nice episode series, which I'm sure that student will get benefited. Thank you.
We are hoping the same, sir. Thank you very much. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.